Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy here, Schoolboy, again with another live video. We're talking about part 2 of the Carlos King and Scrappy interview. Um, this is the second part that I'll be talking about. Before we get started, let's go ahead and take care of some announcements. Tomorrow is the last day for School of Love being produced by Chef Don Don. For you guys to get in y'all applications for the show. So y'all make sure y'all get that information completed and done. Also, if you like to promote your Black-owned business, email them at schooloflove@gmail.com. Go ahead and get that information out there as well. So if you have a Black-owned business and you want that Black-owned business to be featured in School of Love, go ahead and do that. Make sure y'all also email any questions y'all have about the show or any questions or anything needing to be done with that. I know Chef has been in and out of meetings with production and been handling and working on that. So he's been diligently working. Shout out to him and all of his hard work, because that brother is working. When I mean working, he is working. So if y'all have any questions or anything like that, also make sure if you would like to go ahead and apply for the show, y'all make sure y'all get your applications in by the 5th. Now, me and him was on Instagram Live the other day, and we did go ahead and say, if anybody needed to get their application in, you needed to get on down the road and do what you needed to do and make sure you get them applications in, okay? Because he ain't waiting on nobody to go ahead and do that. So y'all make sure y'all get the applications in. I did go ahead and drop the link in here in the chat. So y'all make sure y'all click that link to go ahead and apply. If y'all would like to donate to the crowdfunding for the production, the crowdfunding helps fund the production and helps pay people within the production, showrunner, producers, cameramen, all that. Y'all make sure y'all donate to that crowdfunding. If you donate to the crowdfunding, that does help us be able to pay everyone as well. I did go ahead and drop that in the chat as well. So y'all make sure y'all hit the link, donate to the crowdfunding. Anything small or big is all appreciated. Any denomination, we don't care. We just want you to hold us down with the crowdfunding. We appreciate it. Applications and everything, Chef is dropping that in the chat as well. So that's all of the great news for School of Love. So y'all make sure y'all definitely get all of your information in for that. Oh, also, cool thing today. I'm doing an interview tomorrow, which I will be featured in 2 different magazines. One called Pretty Women Who Hustle. I will be in a portion of that on a video interview in the part of the magazine called Men Hustle Too. So I will be featured in there, and I will be plugging the show and everything else, all of the social media platforms. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. Once I get the information, I will let y'all know about that and where y'all can check that out. As well, I also will be featured in blackbusiness.com, which is a part of Urban Business Institute. I'll also be in that magazine as well. So I'm doing an interview for both magazines tomorrow. So that is something major that I have going on. So I wanted to drop a little few things that I got going on. And instead, so now we're gonna go ahead. If you would please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Push me through the algorithm. I know I've been gone, but I'm back with the jump off. In the words of little Kim, I'm back. Okay. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, you can always donate via Cash App or Venmo. As always, anything that I say on my channel is allegedly, and it is in my opinion. If you don't like it, that's understandable. You can get in the comments or argue amongst yourselves, okay? Because I won't be listening. So, anyways, the interview opens up and Scrappy, they left off at the front of the last interview, and he's asking, him, cliffhanger, dun 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 dun. Do you think that Bambi actually loves you? And Scrappy said that, Bambi, if he's on his petty side, he would say she never loved him. but he says you don't have to necessarily love someone to have kids or have a goal you're trying to obtain. So, thank you, Waist Beads by Bree. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that. Congrats. I didn't mean to be rude and not speak to nobody. Hey, what's up, Chef? Hey, Waist Beads by Bree. So basically, you kind of basically shaded her in the same sense. It's two things can be same at once. You kind of shaded her and you said, well, you know, she didn't use me, but then again, she had a goal that she was trying to obtain. So I'm not gonna say she didn't love me, but at the same time, she had a goal. Okay, but sir, that would mean that means you would even know anytime you would even make that comment, that means you were fully aware of who she was and where she was coming from and the direction she was trying to go to. And you didn't have a problem at that point in time of being that quote unquote vessel, as you say, to help put her on. But now that is the divorce is over and this petty side of you wants to come out. Now you want to say, well, she could have, and well, you don't have to necessarily love somebody to have kids and all that. And my thing is, I wouldn't necessarily want to have kids with anybody that I didn't love. If I didn't love a woman, why would I want to have kids with her? That's just me. Why would I even want to build a family with someone that I don't really even love or care about? Like I can say people are in love, but I do think people get in the idea, fall in love with the idea of falling in love or being in love with someone, but don't really want necessarily love. You like the situation of being in a relationship. And I just feel like Scrappy is just one of the men that likes to jump from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship without healing. But then you also do like to 50% take accountability, but then 50% blame the woman. Sir, you can't get to a point where you want to be petty in the second part of the interview because now you want to say, oh, well, I don't think she loved me. Well, if she didn't love you, then why would you marry her and continue on with a relationship if you felt like you were the one that was being used? Because I damn sure ain't gonna be in a relationship with nobody that I feel like is using me. Let's be clear. Um, so I just with him on that kind of blew me because I'm just like, dude, you trying to say that she didn't necessarily loved you, but she had a goal to obtain. Well, if you was trying to get her to the goal that she was trying to obtain, you didn't even have to marry her or get her pregnant to do that. If you just wanted to help somebody, if you want to invest in somebody, you don't have to do all that. I'm just saying. So he says that he's the vessel that helped Bambi get to where she needs to be. And honestly, sir, where is she? On Love and Hip Hop? She's not a global megastar. She's not up there with the Cardi B likes. She's not up there with the K Michelle likes. So what did you get her? You got her a steady paycheck on a reality TV show, a decent one. You did bring up that you did advocate her to get higher pay, just like you advocated for Erica. So you did no different from your baby mama Erica Dixon that you did for her. It's almost equally the same amount of time and same amount. It's just one was your baby mama and one was your wife, but you did the same thing for them. So tell me where I have felt a lot of arrogance from Scrappy as well. I did all this, but see, here's the thing: when you do something for somebody that you love and you really love someone, there is no arrogance in that. There is no ego in that. And when you do it for someone, you do it because you honestly love them. You don't do it because you're expecting something in return. And it felt like, nigga, you was expecting something in return. And when you didn't get that, what you desired out of the situation, now it's well, I'm the vessel that God used. God will place anybody in anybody's life and have them use them as a vessel to get them to where they wanted to be. You got her a reality TV check. That's what you got her, sir. A steady reality TV check. Okay. What else did you do for her? She's selling hair weave like everybody. She's selling wigs like everybody. What I mean, anybody can do that. Hell, I can go get me an Amazon shop and sell some damn wigs if I wanted to sell it, but that hair is not my thing. That ain't me. But there's nothing that you did to me, sir, that was so upstanding besides placing her on a reality TV show. She could have got with any ninja in the industry and got that. That if we gonna keep it a buck. So he's saying, but it was his help he got her the help because he was the vessel. And so he said, don't downplay it, because it could have happened with Benzino. And I said, oh, so your gripe is that she did what most men do. You have more than one avenue to the goal that you're trying to obtain. So whether you would have put her on or Benzino would have put her on, she would have been on regardless. But your problem is that she was in, would have happened with Benzino. Because remember, you the one said that you was sitting up in the rehab and you saw her on TV in the hot tub with Benzino. You saw her there. Now, mind you, you felt embarrassed in some type of way because of the dudes at the halfway house, or where you was at, or with the rehab was like kind of like, oh, ain't that your girl? She came up here to come kick it with you, but she in the hot tub with him on TV, and she lied and played you and said, oh, well, she was just bringing some girls up there to chill. Meanwhile, she's one of the girls that's kissing on Benzino in the hot tub. It seems like you have a lot of animosity for that, but then it's like, sir, you continued with her knowing that that's what it was. So you knew that's her inception and that was her beginning, but you was cool with that. This is where, Scrappy, I have a problem with you. And this is where I have a problem with you. I have a problem with men that sit up here and try to act like, well, without me, she wouldn't be done. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Okay. But at the same time, you still dealt with her knowing she was in that hot tub with Kurt and his mini earrings and Benzino and his lack of neck and shoulders. You knew. And you continue to deal with her. But remember, she was your fallback and she was your next piece for after Diamond. Because instead of dealing with your shit with Diamond, you went off and got with this woman. See, men don't like it when you play the game the same way that they play the game. So call a spade a spade. In my opinion, he said he did the real introduction to Mona Scott and to Stephanie and got her on. And I'm just like, bro, you bitter because you got your ex-wife and your baby mama a shot. I mean, come on, now both of your baby mamas is on Love and Hip Hop. Let's be clear. So, man, get over it, sir. It's a reality TV check. Today or tomorrow they could be there, and tomorrow they cannot be there. I don't understand being mad about something and being mad about a woman's inception and who she was and where she came from when you still screwed her. It didn't stop you from screwing her. It didn't stop you from marrying her. So let's make it make sense. This is where I have an issue with you, Scrappy. This is where I have an issue with you. But a woman got to accept you with all of your BS, all of the back and forth between Erica, Diamond, this one and that one, over here and over there. And then you expect a woman to just stay laying in the cut and dealing with you. You like for Scrappy, he really lost me on that. It really blew me. So it almost feels that you're upset for pitching her for the show because you got played in the end, but it's what you signed up for because you knew what it was. Carlos asked, did Scrappy feel like she used him for clout? And he says, I'm not saying that, but dude, you're implicating that. And it's no shade to Scrappy. And let's be clear. A lot of these people with these nostalgia tours and stuff that's going around, all of these rappers from the early 2000s, they're making bank right now because the rap standard is in hell. Let's just be honest, okay? And so now people are really getting out here and going to the nostalgia tours and making money. In all honesty, before, now Little Scrappy may have been in demand in Atlanta, but I never saw that he was really in demand still when rap started to take another direction. So my whole thing for it is that low-key Love and Hip Hop shine light back on you because a lot of people didn't even know what you was doing. I'm gonna be real. And I was one of them people that didn't know what you was doing. I had no idea what you were doing. I didn't even know you were still out here like that. And that's just being facts. It wasn't me being rude. It was just it's facts. So I mean, in the reality and grand scheme of things, you gave her a steady reality TV check that you were getting. You leveraged for your girl to get more money, but that's what a real man should want. He should want his woman to level up. So I don't see what the problem is, except for that you bitter that it didn't work out the way that you thought it was going to work out. Scrappy claims he never cheated on Bambi. He only texts 2 women in the beginning of them being married. Sir, why are you even texting any other women? So you played into the insecurities and the facts of the insecurities that the woman actually had, which was you cheating. But then again, I have to still side eye Bambi and be like, yo, bro, you knew that he was cheating way before he got with you. He knew you knew he was a serial cheater, because my grandmama always say the way you get them is how you lose them. You knew he was on the rebound with you from Diamond. So what was going to make you any different from how he cheated on Diamond with you? You have to kind of ask yourself some of these questions and hold yourself accountable too, in my opinion. Now, some people will say that she shouldn't, but in my opinion, you do. Okay. And he don't feel like he wrong for texting other women. And this is where that immaturity, that as much as I want to give you that you have had some sort of growth, every time I feel like I'm going to give you a little bit for the growth, Scrappy, it's not. You right back to the immaturity in you, and you could tell that was the pettiness about you. Scrappy says he's in therapy and felt like he was dealing with a narcissist person. Talk about Bambi. And he feels like everybody is a little bit narcissistic. And he says, once he got the definition when he was in therapy from 2 of the separate therapists that he's seen, the first one and then the second therapist said the same thing. And I'm just like, but sir, you weren't one to take one to no one. You attract what you are. So whatever you were, you attracted that in a woman, and she just gave as good as you gave. So y'all equally gave to each other as good as y'all gave to each other. And it was what it was. I don't see what the difference is. And he said he felt like she dealt with somebody that was narcissist before he was. So she brought those issues into the relationship. Scrappy, shut the hell up. Now, I know you went to therapy and all that, and I get all that, but I don't think that therapist broke that down like that to you. I'm going to say this again, it takes one to know one. So if you're calling her a narcissist, sir, you got to own your facts too, because at the end of the day, in my eyes, I feel as though, this is my opinion, she dated what she was attracted to. If you're going to go back and say that you're the vessel that used her to place her on Love and Hip Hop, she used you to get to what she needed. But you also were okay with being used. Now that it's all said and done and it's not working out in your favor, now it's a problem. He claims that she was never happy for him when he got awards and he did good things. She always is like, oh yeah, good for you, And I'm like, okay, but you never saw any of this stuff when you was dating her. You never saw any of this stuff before you got wrapped up. You never saw any of that. So that makes me understand that you didn't really court this girl or really know this girl. You just didn't want to have to deal with your heartbreak from Diamond. So you just got in bed with this woman and you've been rolling around the sack and you had kids with her, but you really didn't sit down and take the time and deal with your mess before you got with this woman. Because I'm going to tell you, if your partner ain't excited for you in the dating phase, when you got married, she wasn't going to be standing up there like, that's my man. She wasn't finna be out here like Carisha with Diddy, be like, go Poppy, because that wasn't what she was doing. She wasn't on that energy when you were dating. This with Scrappy just is irritating to me. So he throws Kirk and Jock underneath the bus and he says, well, I don't understand how they still married and he's divorced. Well, Carlos says, well, those couples staying in each other's respective lanes, meaning that they're not trying to do the same thing as each other. I call BS on that, because regardless of whether you're being in the same respective lane as your partner or not, you should still be able to big up your partner. You should still be able to clap for your partner. You should be able to be happy for your partner when they excel. So really being in the same lane, I call that as being BS. Sorry. Scrappy says he was paying the rent where they had been at, and they had been out of a lease. Basically, they were on month to month. And sometimes he said he was late, but he was on the road and she wasn't communicating with him about the things that were that needed to be paid like she should have. But When he did get the information, he paid it regardless of late or not. Now, let me tell you something. I'm so sick of these grown people talking about they didn't know when to pay a bill or when a bill was due in their household because they not at home. I'm gonna say this: I call BS on that because I'm gonna tell you something. Whether I am in my house or not in my house, I know what time and when my bills are due. Because guess what? They email me and let me know when my bills are due. Okay, let's be clear. They let me know when my bills are due. So you mean to tell me you was completely reliant on Bambi to tell you when the rent was due? Now I smoke a lot of trees too, sir. And I know you do as well. You smoking that much that you can't have the memory to know when your bills are due? I find that to be like that's such BS. And I am so sick of people. That's as worse as that lady on TikTok talking about with the TikTok couple talking about she didn't know the bills were late and weren't getting paid at her house because she was out traveling and working and she just left it on the other wife and she just thought the bills was just gonna be paid. Like what? I mean, you would think that your husband or wife would tell you when the bills is due, but also I'm a hands-on person. You ain't got to tell me when the bills is due. Cause I know rent always gonna be due on the first. I don't care where you live. It's just like, yeah, I get it. You paid late fees and you didn't care about paying the late fees, but why pay it late when you could pay it on time? The shit don't make no sense to me. But okay, Scrappy, I get it. You paid the rent. And I know she did try to play you on national TV and make it seem like you weren't giving her the rent money and you wasn't coming up with your portion, which I thought was really foul because it was clear that they wanted to make certain poignant reasons as of why he didn't pay or make it seem like he just didn't care. But if that was the reason why he didn't pay was because you didn't tell nobody. Hey, Brittany Janae. Hey, lady, no shit. That was the reason why. Like, that's BS, bro. Like, come on, y'all got the y'all too grown to be out here not paying y'all bills on time. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't care how rich I get, how famous I get. I ain't paying no money for no late fees to nobody when I can pay my rent on time. Hell, you can put the shit on auto pay and it'll pay every month. That don't make no sense. I don't understand that. He said when they play with the love and hip hop the scene where Bambi was moving, he said he's the one that paid for the movers. That she was talking junk about him to the movers, but he paid for the movers for her to move out. He says some months he paid more than she actually paid. She didn't even have her half, and he covered all of the rent and the late fees. So it sounds like, and here's a lesson to y'all grown folks to get out here and get in these relationships and you move in with your mate. This is free game, okay? Don't ever rent a place with someone that you are in a relationship with. That if they decide to pack up today or tomorrow, that you cannot afford on your own. I'm going to repeat that. If you get into a relationship with someone and you move in with someone, and for some reason the relationship does not work out, never have a place that you can't afford to pay the rent on your own. Simple as that. Because I'm going to be honest with you, that's where a lot of people go wrong is they get these places with someone and it's two incomes and yeah, you can afford it. But I always think in the back of your mind, if something were to happen to me and me and whoever break up, I got to be able to afford the rent by myself. So that's just a little bit of free game. I wanted to give that out, for y'all that be moving in. I don't move in with whoever I date, and the reason why I don't move in with whoever I date is because I made a vow that until I actually get married, I ain't moving in with you. So you need to have your house. I need to have my house. So when we argue, you can go back to yours. I can go back to mine. I'd rather live by myself, even when I'm married, than to deal with that type of drama. Well, yeah, yeah. And again, when you start mixing finances and dating, that's a whole new ball game. And I feel like once we start mixing finances, we need to be married, because I'm not mixing my finances with somebody that I'm not married to. I'm not in this day and age, because people like to play house, but they don't really want to actually do what it takes to actually buy a house and build a foundation. I ain't got time for that. And you ain't gonna mess up my credit. I've had too many friends that have gotten loans or gotten in relationships with women, and women have towed up their credit and vice versa. And I can't do it. I can't. So they get on the subject of Imani basically saying that saying that her mom was, they had a little issue. We heard the calls, and Bambi recorded him, and they touched on that. And he says he told Erica straight up on the episode of Love and Hip Hop. He did. He said he was sorry because he believed what his daughter was telling him was the truth. He said, if my kids come to me about anything that they're going through, I'm going to believe my kids 100%, 10 down flat. I don't care who it comes from. I'm going to believe my daughter. So he believed Imani when it came to her saying that she had some issues at home with, some things. I ain't going to say the words because I ain't trying to get the video demonetized or flagged. So I'm going to just say she had some issues with her mother at home. He said he was the one that called the police. He said he apologized to Erica on camera, and Bambi has nothing to do with that. Which I respect him for owning his portion in that. 100%. Hey, Inga. I agree with you on this, but I've been through it. I'm just saying, when you doing that dating and mixing finances, you got to be real. You got to be real. That part, I've been saying my husband need to be on the road somewhere Monday through Friday. I don't want to look at you every day, LOL, in my face. Look, I have my moments where I don't want to be bothered. That's why I would say that I'm not a type of person to have to be holding my girl like hostage all the time. You got to spend 24/7 with me. No, please be gone. Go do something. Be with your girls. Hang out with your friends. Do that. Let me miss you so that when I do see you, it's on like buttered popcorn. I don't need to be underneath you 24/7. I really don't. That codependency is not for me. So he said, and if anything was up with Erica and anything that happened between Erica was true, the allegations, he said the kids would be gone. He said nothing happened. And basically, and nothing happened. He said Erica's a good mother. There was no issues. They cool. Scrappy says Bambi was all in with Imani at first and then stopped as the marriage went on, and Imani was just trying to fit into two households. Now I do believe that. Now I told y'all on the first on part one that I felt like I never thought that Bambi was harsh on Imani, but I felt like Bambi didn't really want to deal with Imani because of the tension between the adults. Kids feed off the energy. You don't want to make my mama upset Erica, who don't like Bambi, and vice versa. You don't want to make Bambi upset because Bambi don't like my mama, and vice versa. And then my dad is just kind of in between. He's stuck into the rock and a hard place. And I felt like as a kid, she was stuck in between the rock and a hard place because it was not, she was going to be damned if she did and damned if she didn't. Do I think Imani played still in them adults' faces? Yes, I do. But I do understand what Scrappy is saying. When you are a kid and you just want everybody to get along, you trying to figure out how to keep the peace and be cool with all parties without pissing this parent off or that parent off. And I can see our Imani feeling like, I just don't want to do this with y'all. Or I'm just feeling exhausted because I can't win with none of y'all as parents. And this is where, this is why I always say, I personally, when I date people that have children, I'm always mindful of their kids, because kids read energy just like adults do. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't have a respectable relationship with the person that you're dating ex, y'all don't have to like each other, but you do have to respect each other, because at the end of the day, the kids are watching that. So it's a bad thing. I felt like it was bound to not happen, and I get it. After a while, you ain't gonna want to deal with it, and I can't say that Bambi is wrong. I can say that she's right and she's wrong because it was a catch-22 from the jump. But here's the deal: when you deal with someone who has children prior to you, it's important to make sure the village is strong around the kids. And this village was never strong because you got Mama D, who never liked Bambi from the jump. Mama D didn't even like Erica at one point. They finally got to somewhere of peace after how many years? It's a mess. And so I pray to God that all these kids come out okay in all of this mess, because when you're growing up in all this confusion, I hope that the parents can put aside their BS to raise the kids properly. You gotta, because all that stuff is a mess. He said he and Erica are in a good place now, and he said he used to jump from woman to woman before, and now he's went through and worked out his issues. I still think, sir, even in the second part, that you're still very much so bitter that this marriage didn't work. And I do have to fault Bambi in some parts, so that, man, it's partially your fault. And the reason why I say it's partially your fault is because sometimes women stay too long. Y'all stay longer than y'all should in situations that you should have nipped in the bud a long time ago. That's just my opinion. That's why I say it takes two to make it and two to break it, because at the end of the day, women stay too long, and that is the portion in the part that they play, where men are quick to get up and leave and just get up underneath somebody else because they don't want to deal with their feelings and the hurt of heartbreak. So he does say that he wants to be married again towards the end. Scrappy, please don't marry nobody else until you go really do some soul searching and get some real therapy. Okay? Please. Because it's too much. You got way too much going on. And when I mean really do some soul, stop double back into these women of your past, and you keep going back. And see, men can only go back to the women of the past as long as the women keep the door open. So you might want to shut that door. Close the door. Okay. Scrappy showed, and in the end, Scrappy showed Carlos all the months and all the bills that he paid over time. Carlos is getting his little life and his little kiki in. I'm gonna say pretty much between the first and the second part. The second part, he really got a little bit Mitch made for me, and I couldn't respect it because at the end of the day, Scrappy, you are part of the problem. Your childhood trauma is a part of the problem. Your mammy is a part of the problem. And until you really do some real soul searching and seeking and get some real growth in, all this pettiness that you're doing is not going to do anything for you. I'm gonna just be honest. If you do live with another person, married or not, you need to have a big enough space where you can have your own space with your own TV, bed, or whatever you need to have a mental break. I want a man cave for that, but I also feel like we can't not communicate in a marriage or in a relationship with someone every time things go left or go wrong. We do have to learn how to work through it. I would date another dude that has young children. My son is an adult, so I will not deal with anybody with little children again. I'm too old for that. I think a lot of women say that after a certain age. A lot of women say that after a certain age. Like, I'm not dealing with a man that has young children because they don't want to deal with the baby mama drama mess. And I respect it. I, in the past, have not dated women with, I stopped dating women with kids because the situation would be that I would get attached to the kids, and then if things don't work out between me and you, then I'm attached to the children. And so that was an issue for me. And then people were saying, oh, well, you might be missing your blessing because you're not dealing with someone with kids. It's no right or wrong. I don't care what form and what package my wife comes in. I just need her to be ready to be with me 100%, and us be able to work through it and be adults and communicate. Waist Beads by Bree said, I don't do baby mama's drama at all. That it means there's still an attachment and you need to be over there. You go be attached over there. Yeah. And that's and again, that's a etched double-edged sword, and I think a lot of people don't really think about that. When dating people with kids, it is a whole different ballgame and it's a whole different thing. So it's just, you know, I don't know, man. It ain't for me. I I love kids, and I think that's what it is I love kids, and I don't have any kids of my own. But I just can't deal with a woman that got attachments or baby daddy or stud baby daddy still coming around the house and still thinking you finna regulate and you finna do all this and the third. I can't do it. So that's just me. Yeah, and that's why I usually didn't like dating women with kids because the attachment, that part, that part. So just like school, Chef Don Don put in here, School of Love is now casting. Make sure y'all get over there. Okay. It's 10-4 on 2023. Okay. Y'all got until tomorrow to get them. Now I don't know if Chef got a cutoff time or what around there. I don't know. I know y'all gotta have it in by the 5th. Now there was some people on the IG live the other day that said that they was not able to they didn't know where to cast at and do the paper where to do the paperwork at, where to fill out the application. So Chef Don Don has dropped the link in the chat. Make sure y'all go fill out the application. Yes, casting is over tomorrow. Do you got a time, sir? Drop it in the chat if you got a time. Please let me know. Drop it in the chat if you got a time. Cause I don't, Chef is real professional over there. They classy based. They take, I ain't look. I'm not doing none of that. So y'all catch the smoke with him. Y'all mad? Y'all take it up with him. It's over tomorrow. So y'all make sure y'all get in there. If you have wanted to promote your Black-owned business, make sure you email them at schooloflove@gmail.com. I know he said he was getting some information out in regards to that. So I think that he's accepting that throughout the entire time. Look, I need to know what time, Bree. Cause I ain't finna play with that man and his time. Y'all make sure y'all get it in. Matter of fact, make sure y'all get it in there before 5 o'clock tomorrow. From my understanding, be removed from the website at midnight tomorrow, which is Friday morning. All right. Get on down there. Get in it before it's removed. Midnight. Okay? 12 o'clock. Not 12:01, not 12:02. Midnight. So y'all make sure you get your applications in. And just if y'all missed it earlier, I also will be featured in two magazines. Excuse me. Two magazines. I will be doing an interview tomorrow. Pretty Women That Hustle magazine. I'll also be a part of a segment with a video for men who hustle too. And I loved it that the journalist was like respectful of my pronouns. I love that. So I'll be in that magazine as well as blackbusiness.com, which is a part of Urban Business Institute. I will be in that magazine as well. So I have two 30-minute interviews with the journalist. She says she's trying to go ahead and get me out there so y'all can Google me too. Okay? Google me too. Like when Offset told Bobby A-Law, shit, I didn't know who you was. I had to Google you. You ain't nothing come up in Google. But if you Google me, something come up. I'm trying to get like that. So, and I'm definitely plugging the show. So Chef Don Don, so that's at midnight Central Time. So y'all make sure y'all roll through midnight at Central and y'all go ahead and do that. So again, applications in tomorrow at midnight Central. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and play us on out. I don't have anything else. That is my reaction to that two-part interview. I will be reviewing Real Housewives of Miami, Real Housewives of Potomac, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I will also be reviewing Married to Medicine. I know all of the trailers have dropped. They're out here except for Married to Medicine. So just know it will be a busy month starting at the end of this month. So I'm gonna start really cranking out the videos and really getting y'all some different content out here. And other than that, I ain't got no more, but y'all watch this clip on the way out.
In the big city of Dallas, Texas, a new LGBT web reality series produced by The Chef Don Don Productions, School of Love. Honey, we are now casting. Make sure you get your application in just in time for school to be in session.